there, horror lovers, and Happy New Year! If you found your way to my channel, you probably already know that my name's Dani, aka Miss Dani Screams. And I'm going to be kicking off 2026 with my first top 5 binge list. And January's theme is zombies. Don't ask me why I thought I'd start with zombies. Maybe because those of us who've survived Christmas probably feel like zombies right now. And don't tell anyone this, but I'm actually not a huge fan of zombie films as a whole. I always feel like once you've seen one, you've seen them all. However, I have delven, is that a word? I'm having it, into the depths of my memory and come up with a few that I did like. So here goes. Number 5 on the list is 1987's Evil Dead 2, essentially a remake of The Evil Dead, but this time with an actual budget and far more freedom to lean into ideas that were only hinted at the first time round. It blends horror and comedy into something bold, inventive, and unmistakably its own. Possession.
Hello, lover.
And reanimation are pushed to the extremes, not just for the scares, but for creativity. And Bruce Campbell's physical performance is the heart of it all.
That's right. Who's laughing now?
Expressive, fearless, and iconic, it's deliberately excessive, wonderfully strange, and endlessly rewatchable. Number 4 is the Spanish movie Wreck. I've already admitted that I'm not generally a fan of zombie films. Well, here's another little secret for you. I'm also not a fan of watching subtitled films, and yes, you can argue that it limits me, but hear me out. I love just sitting down and actually watching a film. And if I wanted to read, I'd read a book, which makes Wreck landing on this list even more impressive. I first saw it back at Fright Fest in 2007 and was impressed immediately. It's found footage done right. And I actually like all 3 films in the series, and Wreck 3 deserves a special mention for the wedding sequence. Which leans into dark humour, kind of switching the genre over to comedy while still keeping that edge of horror. Number 3 is 28 Years Later. Now, I remember when 28 Days Later first came out thinking, just another zombie film. And it wasn't until years later, after I'd moved to East London and ended up going to drama school on the premises of the studios where a lot of the film was shot, that I watched it again, and seeing all of those familiar locations gave me a whole new appreciation for it. Well, fast forward 28 years from the original, and I never would have predicted I'd be living in the northeast of England. In fact, I probably would have bet against it, yet here I am. And 2025's installment, 28 Years Later, is set on Holy Island, which just happens to be one of my favourite places. The film uses the island's isolated atmospheric landscapes to really heighten the tension and dread. And it's a perfect example of how a setting can really amplify horror, blending survival, suspense, and striking visuals in a way that keeps the story gripping from start to finish.
So what's this, Spike?
It's the causeway.
Talk us through it.
It's the only way to the mainland. but we can only get here in low tide. In high tide, the sea covers it.
Can we swim it in high tide?
No, the sea has a current. It'll push us past the island and pull us out to sea, and we'll drown.
Number 2 is Death Becomes Her. Granted, not everyone would call this a zombie movie, but technically they die and come back to life, so it counts in my book.
Look at this! I'm peeling! Oh. I'm peeling already! Oh, me too! Who's gonna fix this? We're in trouble. Ernest is gone. We can't go back to Liesl's. She specifically told us to take care of our bodies. And look at us! We're dead! Oh, this is so embarrassing!
This 1992 classic takes all the ridiculous lengths women used to go to in order to stay young and beautiful before Botox existed. Extreme diets, painful surgeries, magic potions.
It stops the aging process dead in its tracks and forces it into retreat. Drink that potion and you'll never grow even one day older. Don't drink it and continue to watch yourself rot.
How much is it?
And packages them perfectly into a dark comedy. It's camp, it's clever, and it's utterly bonkers. And that mix of humour, horror, and not to mention unforgettable performances from Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, and Bruce Willis is exactly why it's still one of my favourites. Number 1 on my list is 1966's The Plague of Zombies. Hammer horror at its finest. The Plague of Zombies isn't about fast-moving monsters or overt gore. It's about atmosphere, suspense, and that slow-building sense of dread that classic horror does best. The film's gothic setting, eerie score, and careful pacing create tension in a way that modern horror often can't replicate. And what really stands out is how it weaves folklore, superstition, and the supernatural into a story that feels actually believable and genuinely spooky. This is why classic horror still holds up. It proves that fear doesn't need flashy effects or constant action. Sometimes the quiet, ominous moments are the ones that stick with you the longest. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and kill some zombies.